Greetings and welcome to KNDI ATRI Live channel, your trusted space for meaningful conversations on nutrition, health, and public well-being. Today's episode, we're going to focus on recapping the previous 4 episodes that we've done the previous month. Our discussions will be from episode 7 all the way to episode 10, which was strongly anchored in regulation in nutrition and public health practice. Across this episode, we explored how science, ethics, leadership, and policy come together to shape the effective practice of nutrition. Ideally, these conversations within the episode did not only inform us, but they also challenged how we think about professional accountability and the protection of public health. So the specific topics that we looked through last month include nutrition science in the food value chain, student leadership and professional development, medical ethics and the fight against misinformation and quackery, implementation of the Breast Milk Substitute Act. So stay with us as we revisit these important insights. In episode 7, we looked at nutrition science in the food industry, where we were joined by Dr. David Okeyo, who unpacked the role of nutrition science within the food value chain. What actually stood out from this episode is that nutrition science is present at every single stage of our food system, all the way from farm in terms of production through to the food industry in terms of processing, packaging, and labeling, up to the table where we consume. The discussions emphasize on the importance of food labels, where KNDI actually did an audit and found 4,900 food items with nutrition claims in Kenya, and Dr. Keyo stressed that consumers should actually take time to read and understand what is contained in the products that they purchase. We were also reminded that many health risks can be reduced when individuals are more aware of what they are consuming. He challenged the professionals to become a little bit innovative and look at how they can locally make supplements for our clients. The key information for this episode was informed food choices begin with understanding what is in our food and how it affects our health. Therefore, nutrition is not just about eating. It's also about making informed decisions in everyday life. During episode 8, we looked at student leadership and the future of nutrition practice, where we engaged George Omolo, the founder and chair of Kenya Nutritionists and Dieticians Students Association, KNSA. And what was interesting here was, your career, is it shaped from childhood through the experiences you have, through the mentorship and the role models you have, or is it shaped by your grades, or is it shaped by what actually you're taught in school? The discussion actually took us through the KNSA journey and bridged the gap between classroom learning and real-world professional practice. KNSA does this through mentorship, conferences which are done annually, and students were encouraged to always attend these conferences, research opportunities, and it was actually amazing how KNSA has international collaboration. So our student fraternity, you're all welcome to join KNSA. We also explored challenges facing students today in terms of KNSA, including limited attachment opportunities, financial constraints, and the need for stronger professional support system. But one thing that actually stood out clearly was professionalism actually begins early. Students need mentorship, they need leadership opportunities, they need active engagement in order to grow and come out as competent, confident, and ethical professionals. The future of nutrition and dietetics in Kenya is being shaped now by young leaders who are actually willing to learn, lead, and serve. In episode 9, we looked at medical ethics and the fight against quackery, which we were joined by Dr. David Okeyo. He put a strong foot forward as a regulator in the field of nutrition and dietetics and focused on a critical issue: medical ethics and the dangers of quackery in health communication. Actually, the discussions explored how misinformation in nutrition and health spreads rapidly through our social media, and why it is very important for you as a consumer to ensure that that information is valid and is ethical. Nutrition and dietetics was emphasized as a regulated medical profession, and stern warning was given against those who purport to be giving nutrition advice, yet they are not qualified or they're not certified by the board. The 4 key pillars that actually came out in terms of medical ethics that the profession of nutrition and dietetics is grounded on is beneficence, which actually is the act of best interest of the client or patient you're dealing with; non-maleficence, which is avoiding harm; justice, which is fairness and equal treatment; and finally, autonomy, which is basically just respecting the choice of your client or your patient. Quackery was strongly addressed as the practice of giving health advice without proper documentation or certification, with clear warnings about its risks to public safety. And also, in that episode, we were also clearly told the repercussions of indulging in quackery in the field of nutrition and dietetics. The key takeaway was very clear: protecting public health begins with ensuring that the health information comes from a qualified, ethical, and registered professional. The final episode that we had last month was on implementation of the Breast Milk Substitutes Act of 2012. This is where road met rubber, and Dr. Keyo, the regulator, again put a strong foot down and was firm on this specific episode. The focus was on Kenya's Breast Milk Substitute Act, the Implementation Committee, and the gaps. The discussion actually highlighted Kenya's progress in breastfeeding promotion by surpassing the 50% target, and currently we are at 60 and 61%, which actually reflects the strong national commitment to infant health. Interestingly, still, in as much as Kenya had made that progress, certain regions within Kenya, like Kibera, was still under the target of 50%. So a key shift emphasized the need to move beyond awareness campaigns such as Breastfeeding Week and toward continuous year-round promotion of exclusive breastfeeding practices across whole health system and workplaces and communities. Strong emphasis was placed on the Act's core mandates of not just barring aggressive marketing, which is clearly stipulated in the Act, but a call for focus to be on promotion or enhancing initiative that actually will promote exclusive breastfeeding. In addition, the discussion also underscored the need to strengthen the implementation committee and its structures, the governance and coordination of this committee, and also a call for adequate and sustained budgetary allocation for breastfeeding programs. Interestingly, a key concern was raised where there was a big gap between the recommendation of 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding and the reality of only 3 months paternity leave. Food for thought. Should it be increased to 6 months? And again, a call was called on employers to support mothers and for the nation also to be able to take a risk of employing mothers and allowing them adequate time for them to exclusively breastfeed their infant, as these are the future professions of Kenya. Overall, the conversation emphasized that effective implementation requires more than just regulation, but it demands strong systems, accountability, and sustained investment in maternal and child health. The key takeaway was very simple for this episode, that protecting infant nutrition actually requires very strong enforcement, and it shouldn't just be done within the breastfeeding week. It is something that should run throughout the year, and continuous breastfeeding promotion beyond campaigns and well-supported system that actually will sustain and promote the practice of exclusive breastfeeding effectively. So now, a call was made for us to stop focusing on the aggressive marketing of breast milk substitutes, but to actually focus on enhancing the initiatives that would promote exclusive breastfeeding. As this recap comes to a close, one message actually stands out clearly. Nutrition is more than food. It is 1, science. It is 2, leadership. It is 3, ethics. It is 4, policy. And public responsibility is its foundation. All the way from episode 7 to 10, which focused on regulation and professional practice, we actually reminded that informed choices, ethical conduct, and credible information are essential for promoting and improving public health. So viewers, I strongly encourage you to tune in the full episodes for deeper insights and discussion and get a more practical understanding of these important topics. Thank you for staying engaged. Join us again for more insightful and impactful conversations every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. from your host, Wang'ara Laura. Remember to eat informed. Goodbye.